Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing fine and are taking care of yourselves. My name is Kanika Tandon and I am here with the video of class 7th English 2nd. In our last video we have started the explanation part of the chapter number 7, the Sherpas, and in today's video we'll complete the explanation part of that chapter. Starting our today's video with taking a quick review of what we read in this chapter, that is chapter number 7, the Sherpas, in our last video. So basically this chapter is about the people who live as the Sherpas in the outskirts of Everest in Nepal. All the difficulties and all the benefits that they get as they live their life is mentioned in the chapter. They have also told us how the people of Sherpas carry such a lot of weight on their bodies just to move from here to there. They have no roads, no any public transport, no any private transports to do the commutation. Now, and also how their all of their hard work has made them all of their hard work has actually made them gather all the attention from all over the world. Now start coming on to the third page of the chapter, page number 98. Most of the 70,000 or so Sherpas in Nepal aren't involved in the climbing or trekking industries. It's mainly in the Khumbu region that tourism has transformed the Sherpas living in a generation. Tourism has made the Sherpas of Khumbu rich. Now they are telling that not of all the people in Nepal or Sherpa Nepal do the trekking business only. It is in the Khumbu Valley region. The people of Khumbu Valley are the main mountaineers, and tourism also is there, mainly found in this place only. My friend Nima Nuru Sherpa is one of the thousands of Sherpa success stories. When he was born on a tiny Khumbu farm 8 years before the first ascent of Everest, his family grew potatoes like everybody else. You know, raising potatoes is a hard work, such hard work, and you don't make much money, Nima would say. But by the time he was a teenager in the late 1960s, getting into the mountaineering business, it was every Sherpa boy's dream. I was a porter. I carried 22 kilos all the way to Camp 2 on Everest. So now this narrator, T.R. Reid, might have interviewed some of his friends from Sherpa Nepal. He mentions one of his friend Nima Nuru Sherpa, who is actually one of the success stories of the Sherpa people, and there he mentions that he was very poor and he used to grow potatoes in the valley, and how tough it was for them because it was such a hard work. Then he mentions that he was a porter and he used to carry 22 kilos to the Camp 2 on Everest. That's 22,000 feet without oxygen. I was a hotel waiter. So this Nima Nuru Sherpa was actually a hotel waiter and also a cook. I did everything, tireless, bright and quick, to pick up languages. Nima became a trekking guide with knowledge of English, German and Japanese. And then what happened? Since he was very smart to pick up the languages, he became a trekking guide in English, German and Japanese language. He saved his earning and rented a house about 22 yards from the airstrip at Lukla, which in 1993 he turned into a successful hotel and restaurant. With a fairly reliable income from the lodge, Nima took the next step on the career path of the upwardly mobile Sherpa. Last autumn, he set up a trekking company of his own in Kathmandu, 125 miles from Khumbu. And then what happened? When he got much money from being a guide. He saved all of his earnings and made a restaurant and hotel. And then after a while, he had become very successful in that hotel and restaurant business, because tourism in Sherpa was really high. So it was hotel and restaurant will of course grow very well in such regions. Then he opened a trekking company at Kathmandu, in which is 125 miles from Kombu. Three decisive innovatives made the Sherpas what they are today, says Angrita. Angrita is also another person to whom this TR rate the narrator might have interviewed. The British travelers brought potato plants to the Himalayas in the 19th century, and Sherpas recognized that this could be a staple crop for the Khumbu climate. And then what happened? Americans came in Khumbu region for tourism and brought potato crops in order to grow them on the Himalayas. And then Sherpas also realized that the crop and the climate and the soil which potato needs to grow are all present in the Khumbu Valley. So they started to grow potatoes in the Khumbu region. In the 20th century, the introduction of iodine wiped out goiter and made an important improvement in the public health. And the people from Khumbu area, they had a disease that was growing, which was goiter. If you I don't know if you people have seen it, because it is already not so much common right now. It used to be some times ago. So this was a disease in which your whole of your throat is swelled up, whole of your neck is swelled up, and it looked like somebody has eaten some kind of what do we call it, brick or something. It used to grow so much. Your neck used to get swelled a lot, just from the front side, not from the back, just from the front side. So they made an improvement by removing that goiter disease from their area. And the mountaineers who wanted to climb the high peak gave us the foundation of tourist economy that has produced more wealth than agriculture or trading ever did. And then what happened? And then because of the tourism, the people in that area got so much of money and got so rich that agriculture and trekking never brought any money to them. The amount of money they were making because of the tourism, agriculture and trekking, they were not able to do so. The Sherpas began to migrating to Darjeeling, India, more than 1,000 miles east of Khumbu in the 19th century. So in the 19th century, people started to move from Khumbu to Darjeeling. When the first British mountaineering expedition headed to Mount Everest in the early 20th century, traveling from northeast India through Tibet, because Nepal was closed to foreigners until 1949. They hired strong young Sherpas in Darjeeling to be the porters. And now when American used to come, just because they could not walk this much, they used to hire the Sherpa people. A Sherpa contingent became essential for every climbing expedition. When the British expedition of 1953 became the first to reach the roof of the world, the final assault team comprised one New Zealand climber Edmund Hillary and one Sherpa Tenzing Norgay. And when this group of people of Sherpa became very famous because of their mountaineering tricks, the American expedition to climb Mount Everest was a successful. A person from New Zealand known as Edmund Hillary, to whom everybody knows, and another one was a Sherpa who was Tenzing Norgay. These were the two people who were the first people to climb Mount Everest. The conquest of the majestic Mount Everest caught the imagination of the world, bringing an unprecedented number of climbers to Khumbu each spring and fall. It also brought the Sherpas as generous and untiring benefactors in the person of Hillary. Hillary. Now what happened after this Edmund Hillary actually climbed up the Mount Everest. Everybody wanted to climb it, so the number of the mountaineers from all over the world started to increase, and because of this, what happened, there were n number of people who used to come at the springtime to climb the Mount Everest. And because of Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, people from America and Sherpas got famous. To speed up the construction of the hospital in the village of Kunde, Hillary oversaw the construction of an airstrip on dramatic mountainside in Lukka, a runway that has had the unintended result of fueling the massive tourist trade. And then what happened? Edmund Hillary actually saw that they were making some kind of helipad or airport, which he understood that if this has been made, it will be very easy for the people to come and visit Sherpa. Quickly, each of Khumbu's 25,000 foot plus peaks was climbed, with the Sherpas playing a central role in the expedition. Even more crucial to the Khumbu economy was the development of the trekking industry, in which Sherpa had led tourists on a week-long hikes. Now they understood that tourism is the only thing that they can get more and more money from. And since Sherpas were already very famous, what did they do? They made Khumbu a very crucial part of the tourism business. And because of this, Sherpas used to take people for a 1 week long hikes. And imagine if people from all over the world are staying for a 1 week hike, how much of money they are spending on it, how much money Sherpa community or Nepal is actually earning every year. Only 10,000 or so Sherpas remain in the Solu Khumbu. See, only 10,000 people are remains in Sherpa, and rest everybody becomes a mountaineer or hiker or tourist guide, so that they can actually get money from the tourism business. The rest have scattered to towns and villages across northeastern Nepal and India. Thousands now live in the Kathmandu, where most of Nepal's trekking and climbing agencies are headquartered. Further afield, there's the Sherpa Rock Band in the New York City, the Sherpa Restaurant in Tokyo, Shibuya district, and Sherpa hiking guides in the mountain resorts area all over the world. And now, just because people coming there climbing have actually got so happy with the Sherpas that they open some restaurants, hotels, and other eating and living style restaurants and hotels at their places. In Khumbu, the old ways still persist in many aspects of Sherpa's daily life. Their washing machine is the rushing river, their dryer is the sun, the kids use round pebbles as marble and play catch with the potatoes. The people of Sherpa don't actually own a washing machine. How do they wash their clothes? So they do not have any kind of washing machine or thing. They wash their clothes in the water that is rushing in the river. Their clothes get dried with the sun, as whenever the sun rises, because it is actually a very area where there is less sun and more snow. And also kids use pebbles to play catch with the potatoes. With rocks and branches, Sherpa's farmers construct diversion channels beside mountain streams to drive the water wheels that grind their grain into flour. And now the machine that they use to grind their grain into the flour, they use large rocks and sticks of wood. The same streams are used to spin the prayer wheels that dot the Sherpa country. In Khumbu, a tradition are maintained. Ank Rita says, on the steep rock-strewn mountain trails of the Sherpa land, new mothers still walk with farmers, yak herders, mail carriers, great grandmothers are and exhausted, sweating porters bent low under the weight of cargo on their backs. So that is the place where these people rest and do their work. The Sherpas have brought all manners of innovation up in the mountain trails, which is very understood, because in mountains it is very tough for to get the things that we need. In plains it is very easy. You send one truck or something with all of the materials loaded, but in mountains you cannot take that truck to the mountain, right? So it is very tough for the mountain people to get their stuff, and there is no public transport because it is very tough for the people to actually construct a road on in the mountains. And this story is actually very old. It is from the 1980s time, so there were no the technology was not this much active that time. So why is there no room in Khumbu for the automobile or the roads that I could drive on? I posted that question to almost every Sherpa I met. The conscience view, the opinion of the people is that roadlessness is the essential element of Sherpa condition. Exactly, because that is the only thing. This roadlessness in their bodies and their minds is the only motivation that they have got, right? If we rode a bus in Khumbu, would we still feel the steepness of our mountains? Asked Nima Nuru Sherpa. Would we still hear the waterfalls coming down our cliffs? Would we stop and pray a prayer when we passed a mami? So they are actually very happy with this thing, that they don't have any bus, they don't have any car, they don't have any other public transports to actually go and commute, because they want to know the importance of the mountains that they have in their life, and without this they wouldn't have known it. So this was the chapter number 7, Sherpas, and this will be all for today's video. I'll be taking the exercises and the question answers in my next video for sure, and I request one thing to you, that you complete the word meanings of this chapter from the book in your copy. You have to complete them in the copy, and next time when you come to get your copies checked, I hope that all of yours work is actually complete. I'll see you all in my next video next week. Till then, take care and have fun. Thank you.